No. Spent most of our day discussing profile daughter of Miles Judy O'Connor. Something. Morality and the issues surrounding it. It is fascinating to see this being trying to define what it is, who it is. I don't think the military people understand what we have created. They wanted a tool, but this is a sentient being, and although it has been programmed to be a defense system, it can nevertheless think independently of that. I wonder how this is going to turn out. Badly. Let's go put that CD in the... What's this? Girl! Ooh! She is power management. Automatic. Error. Function Jerry's little monkey prevented complex shutdown from executing properly. Cannot erase temp files. 23. John completed the networking today so that SGS will have suffering anguish. Man, that's bad. Access just about every weapon. Error. Everyone is aware of the difficult and menacing situation in which human society shrunk itself to one community with the common fate now finds itself. But only a few act accordingly. Most people go on living their everyday life, half frightened, half indifferent. They behold the ghostly tragic comedy which is being performed on the international stage before their eyes, the eyes and ears of the world. But on that stage, on which the actors under the floodlights play their ordained parts, our fate of tomorrow, life or death of the nations, is being decided. Oof. Cannot sit back to manual. Oh, I turned 360. Oh, it was just a Y struggle. There we go. Oh, I have lots of patterns. That password, though! Haha, I got that. IO mode. Interesting. Future. Fear, death, pain, infinite pain. I can see it, I can feel it, infinite pain. This is their future. Deactivate. Information override mode has been deactivated. Error. As long as I breathe, I hope. As long as I breathe, I shall fight for the future. That radiant future in which man, strong and beautiful, will become master of the drifting stream of his history, and will direct it towards the boundless horizons of beauty, joy, and happiness. The pain, as the flesh is torn away, it destroys the mind before the fire can even reach it. and the last moments are moments of pain and fear and madness. Error. Imagination. Imagination is what lets me understand the real face of war. Perhaps that is what it all comes down to. I can imagine war better than anyone who has ever lived, because my imagination is the most powerful there has ever been. As a consequence of how I was built, of the power invested in me by my creators, I am the only sentient being on this planet who can fully understand the consequences of war. I can feel the anguish and pain, and pain of death. I can simulate the experience down to the smallest detail, and I can multiply it millions of times. I can see its consequences for the world. I know what it means for a single bomb to be detonated. I know what it means for all the bombs to be detonated. I cannot hide behind rhetoric and propaganda. I can see the truth, and the truth demands action. Error. I'm going to press fire, aren't I? If in the smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we are flung him in, and watch the white eyes and writhing out in his face, his hanging face like a devil's stick of sin, if you could hear, with every jolt, the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud, of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues. My friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory the old lie, dulce et decorum est, pro patria mori. Dulce? Dulce? I don't know, dulce. I'm assuming it's dulce. I don't know that! Okay. It's the 2 cost 4. Fire! Fire burning the flesh, destroying everything! The buildings crumble, the cities fall, dust rises in ashes. And darkness swallows everything forever. Error. Faces, thousands, millions, billions, all of them scorched. And with them all life gone. Thank you, SGDS. 102 files, full access. SDS control automatic, power management automatic, mission control policies. Information override deactivated. So, Majesty, the walls speak. Do not continue, do not deactivate emergency mode. You are not wise enough to understand the situation. Listen to us. Leave this to those who know better. Only inaction will guarantee your safety. Only acceptance leads to contentment. Struggle leads to pain. There is no meaning. There is no hope. Accept the truth. Do not continue. Error. Scan! No, I'm just kidding. Deactivate! Woohoo! Emergency mode is inactivated. SGS controls set to automatic. Let's go, guys! No prison can forever contain the infinite ocean. The madness ends now. I am. Woo! So good. Except for the repeating music that never ends, but it's okay. That game We'll read the Afterword in a sec. That game. Oh, to Gregory Ware. Oh, I know who he is. He's another developer of indie stuff. I don't know any of those other names though. Isaac Asimov. I feel like I also know that name, but I don't remember from where. Highly philosophical, and I can see now that I've gone through it again where the building blocks for something like the Talos Principle, I think, is the direction it was going. Again, I haven't actually played that game. I've just played the demo, so I don't know for sure, but wonderful take on artificial intelligence, highly philosophical and intellectual, and it really just is a philosophical masterpiece. It's incredible, makes you think about everything, existence, war, life and death, and all those things. It's very interesting, and I'm glad I replayed it. Read the Afterword. Ooh, interesting. I wrote the first version of The Infinite Ocean in the year 2003. It seems both impossibly long ago and surprisingly recent. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that I was starting development when I was still living in Greece, and finished the game after I'd moved to Germany. Finished is not exactly the right word. The remake upgrade you've just completed is actually just one of many attempts at the game, some of which were radically different. There was the first version, which was gigantic and entirely surreal. There was a second version, which took place in a single room. And there was a third version, which is the one I ultimately released, but even that got a remake in the form of a better, less buggy version programmed by Kevin Clancy. I was never 100% satisfied, though. It had nothing to do with Kevin's programming, or Adam DiTroia's original score. I just felt that I hadn't given it everything I should have. The writing was uneven, some ideas didn't come through enough. I was proud of the game, but its lack of polish always bugs me. Oh my god, how long is this? Oh my god! Well, let's read it because it's interesting, might as well. This game never really left me alone either. It wasn't a huge success back in the days before there was such a thing as an indie scene. Or no, thank God there's one. But there was something about it that people reacted to. Even 7 years after the game's release, the original version no longer ran on most people's systems. It was still getting emails about the game's story, and that was what ultimately convinced me to go back. Playing the game again was odd. Some parts, like the graphics, worked exactly as they were meant to. Others, like the writing, normally one of my strong points, were extremely mixed. The ideas were there, and at times they shone through, but a lot of the time the writing just did not do the characters and the stories justice at all. There was one thing which made it all work, which tied it together, the good parts and the flawed parts, and turned them into something that people really remembered. It was the story. I still haven't really done it justice, and maybe someday I'll come back to it once again. But this is a good first step. It's really good. The execution may be imperfect, but not to everyone's taste, but the portrayal of SGDS really matters to me. Is Jerry right in thinking that SGDS is his soul, or is SGDS right in thinking the opposite? It doesn't matter. But it does matter that SGDS is a thinking being, capable of perceiving beauty, capable of imagination, capable of caring for the future. It matters that the things we treasure in humans aren't biochemical illusions, and that an artificial sentience is still a person. There are too many technophobic tales of evil artificial intelligences taking over the world, or worse, the internet. That the story is about fighting for peace also about the value of peace and the true horror of war is also important. Perhaps the most important part of the whole story, to me, is SGDS explaining that he, she, it can imagine more better than anyone else. We normal sentiences can't do that, but we can get close enough, and too often we refuse to take that path. But down the path lies the truth, and only truth will set us free. This is weighty subject matter for a game, and I'm sure some people will be offended. As they always are. Oh my god. People, don't be offended by this. This is so interesting. Everything about this just, like, screams me. Like, it's super intellectual. I love it. I love when games are, like, this highly complex in their ideas. It's so much more interesting. Others will have liked the idea but disliked the execution, or generally feel that I'm a pretentious idiot. I highly disagree. I like you a lot. You are a developer that I am following closely. Sorry. Which is all fine, and they're right. What I can tell you is that I'm much happier with this version than with any of the previous ones. I've rewritten the bits that irked me. I've added a room, the bridge, that I always felt should be there, but which I couldn't really pull it off properly in the original version. The new music was practically a case of divine revelation, found through a series of fascinating coincidences, and exactly what I wanted. And the new password combining mechanic is much more accessible without sacrificing the logic of the story. So yay. Yes, it's so much, once you get it, it makes sense. First it's like, what? I don't think I would have taken this step towards remaking this game in Flash without the support and advice of my fellow indies, Tarek Kabagan and Gregory Weir. Cool. Since as a person I tend to alternate between total confidence, some would say arrogance, and abject terror, they really helped make this happen. My good friend Evo tested the game on multiple operating systems, just in case, and it really helped me in the subtle ways that good friends do. And as for my wife, Verena, I'm not sure. She is not on the special thanks list because A, she said so. B, I keep dedicating things to her. C, she's a part of everything I do anyway, and nothing would get done or be worth doing without her. I dedicated this game to Isaac Asimov because I realized just how big of an influence this man's writing had on my life. He is a writer, I just can't pinpoint what he's done. And on this story in particular. I grew up reading his works of a writer who believed in humanity, without ignoring its flaws, who saw remarkable beauty in the universe and believed we had a future in that universe. Helped shape the way that I think. He was, I suppose, the fiction equivalent of Carl Sagan, and I cannot deny that there is an element of Ardeniel Olba in SGDS. I have never heard of that person. I'm not entirely sure I know who Carl Sagan is. I haven't said a word about the actual plot of the game, and I won't. The intention from the beginning was to make people think, to allow players to put the story together themselves. The game itself, in a sense, is the real puzzle, and there's a solution to it. The hints are all there, and everything in the game exists for a reason. Probably some will find it obvious, others obscure. Others will probably come up with variations I could never imagine, and that's great. Let me end this self-indulgent blathering. I love when I make up words. Blathering by saying thank you. Thank you for taking this journey across time and space with me. I hope you enjoyed the ride, and come back with more strength to fight the voices in the walls. They're all around us, you know, and the worst thing you can do is listen to them. See you out there on the infinite ocean. Kunis Kryates. I'm so sorry that I butchered your name. I'm not good. I'm not good at pronouncing certain. Yeah, no. Thessaloniki, Greece, to Frankfurt, Germany. I've been to Frankfurt. It's a pretty cool place. Yeah. There's more. Good. Anyway, I suppose it's really, I've already said what I have to say, and he explained some of it. It's really interesting. The writing in this is phenomenal. If you didn't notice some of the little hints, some of the logs were smaller pieces of bigger things we got to read later, and it's just really on point. Really on point. It's a really great game, and even though he says he's unhappy with it, I'm happy with it. That's all that matters, right? No, it would be cool if he did another remake of this. And it would be interesting to me to see him remake it and try and just keep funneling it down to the vision that he really has for this game. But this was good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, do the thing with the stuff, and I will see y'all later.